What's up, guys? We're in Tempe, Arizona at Epic Branding Solutions, and with me today is the one and only
Ken Rutt, owner of Epic Branding Solutions.
Ken. You have a fun story to tell. You were just sharing with me that you were a broker for a long time, and then you decided, well, let's just do a 360 and let's get our hands dirty.
Yes, as a matter of fact, jumped into the equipment game 4 years ago, and Jim from Cobra Flex told me, Ken, don't do it. Don't do it, don't do it. But it's been a great ride. It's been ups and downs, but it's been a great experience.
And when did you, first start, in the industry itself?
1982, I got into the industry, web offset and sheet fed. And then as technology advanced, we advanced with it. We, reset and adjusted. So here we are today doing DTF, large format, rigid signs, the whole shebang.
And you coming, buying equipment and getting your hands dirty around 4 years ago, that's a unique time, because that's right around time we were kind of wrapping up the pandemic and so forth. Right. Did you kind of see that as an opportunity? Is that when you decided to pull the trigger?
Absolutely. We saw it as an opportunity, and the company I bought, I had been working with, they were one of my suppliers for 14 years. So I knew they had a great team. I knew they had a great setup. If I could take that and implement and scale, we could be something great. So that's what we've been attempting to do for the last 4 years.
And how big is the facility we're about to see?
Just under 9,000 square feet.
And how big's your staff?
9 people.
9. In
production.
Lean and mean.
Lean and mean.
Yes, and we're going to see some pretty cool digital technology. It's amazing what we can do with that, and you guys are very much so a one-stop shop, whether it be sign, paper, promotion, apparel.
Yeah.
You find that to be very important to satisfy your customers' needs?
Absolutely, because the one thing we noticed as technology changed, people wanted to have more of a one-stop solution. And so hence Epic Branding Solutions was born into providing people with print solutions, whether it be books, whether it be board games, whether it be large format, promotional. That was our attempt.
And you provide solutions, whether you do it in-house or you find the right partner to get the job done. You prefer to never tell the customer no. We're gonna find a way to deliver. And Ken, I'm really excited to go check out the facility.
Come on, man. Let me show you around.
Ken, we visit a lot of apparel shops. I don't get to see too much of this, what I would call grand format?
Yes. So this is our G5 fabric printer. We print direct to the fabric. It's pre-treated so that we get the pop and the adherence of the ink to the substrate. We do all types of displays for trade shows, table covers, table runners, backdrop displays. There's even the option to do apparel, which we haven't ventured into yet. But
when it would come to apparel, would you still have to make a transfer and then heat apply it?
So with this, we would actually have to change our profiles to fit the material. But then it's a whole nother thing to expand.
One more variable.
So,
but the beautiful thing about sublimation in this case, it's going to have essentially no hand, right? It's going to have a perfect, and like you kind of said just a second ago, color profiling things. It's very similar to the DTF world.
Absolutely.
Did you find having equipment like this made the transition into DTF a little bit easier because you had some experience with the wide format?
As a matter of fact, yes, because a lot of these machines run on the same philosophy, the same idea. So when we brought DTF in, my print operators, they could almost run that machine because it ran on the same principles as to the machines they were already working on. So it was an easy adjustment for them. And until we found the guy that we needed to run it full time, those were my guys.
Very cool. Well, once we print material, we can do a lot of different things with this media, and you have different types of media you can obviously put on there, but over here I could see this nice big structure I see the Velcro.
Right.
And then over here, we're doing some sewing. So you literally can build a trade show display.
Absolutely. And the funny thing about this particular project, this is just a section. This is going to end up being a 30-foot display that we'll put together in sections. And over here, they're putting in the silicone edging right now. And so this is all automated, so it cuts our finishing time down drastically.
And what's cool about something like this, even with your Velcro, is your client could hit you back up and then, hey, I want to change this panel.
Absolutely.
Do you typically assemble the whole thing here and photograph it, and you have to then build all these instructions of, hey, that's how you put it all together?
Yeah, fortunately, the client has done that part of it for us. So they provide us with the sections, and then it becomes critical for our finishing department to make sure we get the exact fit for every panel.
Very cool. And then over here, we have one heck of a large table, or tables, and several different sewing machines. So again, we're doing a lot of hemming and things like that?
Yep, sewing in Velcro, sewing in webbing, just doing straight hem finishes. We also have a welder, so we can weld vinyl if the client doesn't want it stitched, but I think we've pretty much got all the options covered.
Yeah, what I've learned from grand format and offset and all that, it's often more of the finishing tools that you have to have several of those.
Yes.
Because you have the printer doing most of the work, but now we need to do something with it, whether it be Velcro, hem, grommet, something else. Well, Ken, we still have a lot to see. Let's go check the rest of it out.
Let's do it. All right.
All right, Ken, where are we now?
So now we are in our signage or flatbed area. We're producing rigid signs on coroplast, aluminum, E-panel, ultraboard, foam board. So this machine right here, you can see the board coming out now. UV, probably this machine right here, not the latest in technology, but probably one of the best in quality for its age. So we're still cranking away, putting out rigid material for all types of clients, schools, direct to business, to consumer.
Yeah, you don't see anybody cutting sign vinyl and putting it on coroplast anymore. It's just too easy to just
only an emergency.
Yes. Well, and then you have your rotary cutter and so forth. Again, finishing some of your projects here. We have all of our stock, all the different thicknesses of coroplast. Like you said, do you do acrylic? Can you do acrylic with the UV?
We can do acrylic, yeah.
And then again, over here, more finishing. What do we have with this Canon?
So with the Canon, primarily we're using this for adhesive substrate, doing a ton of decals, as you can see. The guys are cutting away here. But also, we can run PET material for retractable banners. We can run vinyl on this machine as well. So this is a very universal printer, and it's fast. So we just picked this up a couple years ago. What used to take us 45 minutes to print a retractable banner takes us 10 minutes.
Wow. And when you are you direct to consumer? Do you do wholesale? What is your market?
Primarily in the 4 years we've been operating as a large format company, it's been to the wholesale market, so brokers, other printers, we've been a supplier for them. We're now expanding out to the retail market.
I had no idea until very recently how easy it was to hit up a Ken, and it makes you think twice about buying a lot of your own equipment. Yeah. I mean, you were a broker for a long time, and it makes total sense that you would kind of, again, if you're going to do a 360, put your back in the shoes of where you were.
Yes.
And you knew the needs of the customers, the pain points, and that's why you provide solutions.
Amen. At
Epic Branding.
Yep.
So over here, looks like we have an older roll-to-roll.
Yes. So our HP 360, As you can see, not in use much these days now that we have the Colorado, but we still utilize this for certain substrates. They just tend to perform better here versus here.
UV or eco solvent?
So this is eco here.
Eco.
Yeah.
And what I've learned while being in Phoenix and just the brutalness of the sun, it sounds like UV is often used more.
Absolutely.
And it just seems like that's where a lot of the printing is going, more so UV over eco.
Yeah.
I do know there's different ink colors sometimes you can use one versus the other, but I mean digital, it's very powerful, but it's the technology evolves quite a bit.
Absolutely.
So we have an HP, that was a Colorado or Canon. So do you have a brand preference or?
Well, as you can see, as we go through the shop, we're predominantly HP, and with the exception of the Canon and with the exception of the fabric machine, but primarily HP.
Cool. And then what? We have a laminator?
Yep, then we have our laminator, which is becoming less and less frequently used. With the advancement in the UVs.
You have such durability with just the substrate itself.
Yep.
Very cool.
So we're seeing this a lot more with rigid stuff versus decals and those kind of things. With the Canon, with the inks, you really don't even need a lamination to it.
Do you ever print like a clear top coat to give it extra durability, or is it just naturally?
We have done it. It's more labor intensive for us because we're not fully set up for clear, but we have done it, yeah.
Cool. Let's keep going, Ken.
Let's do it.
Ken, it's not very often I see a grand format sublimation, then I see a flatbed UV, a roll-to-roll UV, an eco-solvent roll-to-roll, and now we're looking at what, a latex roll-to-roll?
Latex. Yeah, HP came out with the latex many years ago. These two machines, identical in build, a few years separate them, but these are our high performers from a volume basis. So these two machines are constantly running either vinyl or mesh, and I think one of the greatest solutions we provide for people is being a high volume production provider for people.
Well, and I would argue, tell me if I'm wrong, I've seen latex, I've seen eco-solvent, I've seen UV, but it's the fact that you can go a lot bigger too.
Exactly.
So you're not having to turn away, a lot of jobs. You have a solution for the big and even the smaller.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think that gives us a little leg up in the community because we have the 10-foot wide capacity. We can do the larger building banners, outdoor and indoor. So definitely provides a lot of opportunity for us.
And what machine you use primarily comes down to the substrate and how durable we need it to be and so forth, where it's going to go?
For sure. And, size plays into the whole equation, right? So we get a lot of call for 13 ounce and 18 ounce for street banners, pole banners, those types of things.
How wide?
So this is 10 foot. So it maxes out 124 inches roughly.
Wow.
So.
And on the other side over here, we just have an identical one?
Yes.
And how important do you find it to be to have redundancy in the facility when possible?
Well, the one thing we have done is we have profiled all our machines to be the same. So if you have a campaign, right, and you're running vinyl and you're running rigid and you're running fabric, you can expect the same color consistency throughout the shop.
And I'm real excited to, check out the DTF room because you just said it, color profiling. You can't stress how important it is. And I see a lot of, again, wide format guys really understand it. They have the spectrophotometer and they know how to really dial in their printers. So let's go check out the DTF room.
Let's do it.
All right, Ken, we're in the DTF room. and I can feel the humidity in here, which is extremely important.
Yes, it is.
You have a beautiful facility, environment, workflow. We visit a lot of shops. Not everybody is as organized and as efficient. But immediately when I walked in here, I was like, this is what a DTF space should look and feel like.
Well, it took us a long time to figure that out. We kind of poo-pooed the whole idea of humidity and temperature and all those things until we had to learn the hard way.
Yep.
So we built a room for it. And this thing runs like a champ. It's color profiled, in my view, like no other DTF machine. And so yeah, we're pretty proud of what comes off of this thing.
And you know, how much are you using this for all your apparel jobs? Are you still brokering some screen print jobs depending on the size of the order?
We print probably 90% of our apparel work on the DTF. We have some clients that are still old-fashioned.
Yep.
Hey, I want the screen print, so we contract that out. But this machine runs every day, 5 days a week, 8 to 10 hours a day. And we have an amazing press operator who can print and press all at the same time. So he cranks it out.
Very cool. And obviously, I see that it's from CobraFlex. They're local here in town in Tempe. What's that been like to work with them?
Great relationship. I've known Jim for many years. Actually, when he had a large format company and a screen print and embroidery shop. And then he started telling me about this DTF technology. I was fascinated. I had never seen anything like it. We had seen the old versions of cut vinyl that were heat pressed and how heavy they were. But when I saw the feel and the brilliance and the fact that you could do vignettes, that you could do full color prints, I thought this is a game changer.
Well, I could print digitally cheaper, faster, better than I could with an eco-solvent printer. The two-step process, DTG, has definitely some limitations there. And we can really move our bottleneck around too, because I could be pumping out shirts here and then have several heat presses, pumping them out, and it has been an absolute game changer. And I know companies like CobraFlex make very high quality equipment that just lets you consistently be printing. You just have to respect the chemistry.
That's right.
Like
That's
humidity.
Right.
You know, it's not sublimation ink. It's a different animal with the film, the powder. And I see that you have a forehead here, which I'm a big fan of having a few more heads. Just one, it's also redundancy. Not that I want to say, hey, this head stroke, you know, it got totaled, but having a little bit more there, you can kind of get it tweaked in until somebody can come out. But I know, like, the CobraFlex guys are just right down the road, so you're a little spoiled.
Absolutely. I know, they're our neighbors, so we can just go around the corner and they're there and responsive to whenever we need them. So.
Well, you never know when I'm going to come in and bump it and get a nice strike on there for you, because I've done some damage at some shows before, and definitely in my own shop. Well, Ken, thank you so much for giving us a tour at Epic Brand. I swear, Cobra must have made this for you guys, because this looks beautiful. You need to get a big UV DTF sticker on there.
Exactly.
Because it is like a magical device that just customers absolutely love too. Well, you know, a lot of us were, how much they can accept it, and wow, they love it. You know? And it's never been easier to print, and I really like how you go about making solutions for your customers, delivering. Everybody, they don't come with you for an order, they come to you with a problem, and they need a solution for you to help them solve it. And it's a team effort. And having the right tools in the shop and having the right relationships with other brokers and dealers really helps you keep your customers happy, and everybody wins. The more successful they are, the more product they're going to need to buy from you. So it just makes sense. Well, thank you so much for letting us tour. And where can our viewers go to learn more about your company and even outsource some signage and offset orders to you? Yes.
EpicBrandingSolutions.com. We have a brand new website, all our products listed on there. And that, I couldn't have said any better. The experience is what we try to provide for people along with the solution. So pleasure having you guys here. Glad you came by.
Thank you so much, guys.
Zach.
Check out
Appreciate it.
EpicBrandingSolutions.com.